Russian dictator Vladimir Putin continues to believe that he will be able to seize 4 regions of Ukraine and win a full-scale war. However, the situation on the front suggests that Moscow will be defeated. Retired U.S. Air Force Lieutenant General David Deptula expressed this opinion on Channel 24. According to him, Putin is confident of his victory over Ukraine, since this is how the Russian military command reports to the dictator about the situation at the front. He emphasized that all of Russia lives in conditions where the head of the Kremlin completely controls the information flow. One of the factors why Ukraine, despite being numerically and resourcefully inferior to Russia, has demonstrated impressive results in containing this state, this organization, and the quality of governance. But you have done a remarkable job in containing this superpower, Deptula said. He added that Russia achieves success on the front not through professionalism, but through civility to the leadership. Deptula believes that this is why Putin believes he is defeating Ukraine. We call it drinking water from your own bathtub. It's when a person is so out of touch with reality that he believes in his own illusions. In Russia, this phenomenon has been institutionalized, he said. In the Russian army, it is impossible to advance through merit or command ability. Deptula added, recalling that Putin has fired many commanders because they failed. So, it is possible to say that Russian dictator lives in a dream world. Since its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, Russia has consistently distorted perceptions of its own military prowess and successes on the battlefield. From the beginning, the Kremlin has claimed swift victories and minimal losses, in contrast with reliable, independent assessments that state otherwise. State media have routinely downplayed Ukrainian resistance and exaggerated Russian military successes, creating a parallel reality for domestic consumption and international intimidation. Take the Kremlin's portrayal of the Battle of Kiev in the early stages of the war, for example. Despite failing to capture the Ukrainian capital and suffering significant losses, Russian propaganda painted the withdrawal as a strategic goodwill gesture, continuing a long-standing Russian tradition of inflating military capability through propaganda. When confronted in the physical theater of combat, the Russian military often defaults to brute force tactics where human lives, especially Russian, are expendable.
Satellite photos show Natanz and Isfahan nuclear sites in Iran before and after the U.S. strikes that were conducted on Sunday. According to Associated Press, satellite images analyzed Monday by the Associated Press appear to show at least one crater at Iran's Natanz nuclear enrichment site after the United States targeted the underground portion of the facility. A hole of around 5 meters could be seen in images taken by Planet Labs PBC and Maxar Technologies on Sunday after the American strikes. That hole sits directly over the underground portion of the site, which includes centrifuge halls. Iran has offered no assessment of how much damage has been done at the site. Previous Israeli strikes destroyed an above-ground centrifuge hall, as well as all of the power equipment at the site, likely cutting its electrical supply. Satellite images of Iran's Isfahan Nuclear Technology Center captured by Maxar Technologies also showed surface-level damage to the site following the U.S. strikes.
Against the backdrop of economic problems, international isolation and elite fatigue, a scenario is brewing in the Russian top brass that until recently seemed impossible. We are talking about a change of president, and in this context, the figure of dictator Vladimir Putin's youngest daughter, Katerina Tikhonova, unexpectedly comes into the spotlight. This was reported by the influential Russian Telegram channel VCHK-OGPU, which is associated with the Russian Special Services. Recently, both of Putin's daughters showed up at the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. However, the youngest of them, Ekaterina, attracted more interest. She is the one being promoted as the future head of the Russian Federation. The key role in this scenario, according to insiders, is played by the Kovalchuk brothers, influential oligarchs closely connected to Putin. They are allegedly actively promoting the plan according to which Tikhonova should take the post of the head of state. Mikhail Kovalchuk, with the full support of his brother Yuri, who has enormous influence on Putin, has recently been actively promoting his plan for a change of power in the Russian Federation. According to it, Katerina Tikhonova should become the new president of Russia. Interlocutors say that Kovalchuk is now actively convincing both Putin and Tikhonova that this plan is the only correct one. The VCHK-OGPU reported. The channel's sources claim that discussions of this option are already underway in closed circles, and even specific dates are being named, 2026. It is by this time that Putin could allegedly raise the issue of transferring power, officially or through a controlled electoral process. They want to position her as an independent figure, without open party support, but with the image of a new face and scientific expert, capable of repackaging the Russian system for domestic and foreign consumption. Katerina Tikhonova, a physicist and artificial intelligence specialist by training, has until recently avoided the political scene. Her participation in the forum is interpreted as a signal that she is being groomed for a new role. Earlier, media reported that Mikhail Kovalchuk, Vladimir Putin's closest ally who is rumored to control most of Russia's state and private assets, is actively promoting Putin's youngest daughter, Katerina Tikhonova, as Putin's successor as president of the Russian Federation. Kovalchuk, who is a co-founder of the famous cooperative O0, which has included Putin's inner circle since the early 2000s, convinces him and Katerina that she should take part in the early presidential elections as an independent candidate in 2026. Naturally, Putin's daughter will win. Earlier, the media wrote that Putin's eldest daughter, candidate of medical sciences Maria Vorontsova, is also being prepared for power. She has recently begun to be promoted in the Russian media. The most interesting TV story happened in December 2024 when the dictator's eldest daughter allegedly organized a mobile hospital and evacuated about 10,000 wounded soldiers from the combat zone under fire. Even some Kremlin-loyal bloggers called this fairy tale a fake. Later, Maria also spoke publicly at many thematic medical forums and congresses. Previously, Putin avoided direct questions about his daughters as if they did not exist. But recently, the frequency of their appearances in public has increased.